Hi, how are you? This is Bruna Roy Crafty Hands. Bruna Roy Crafty Hands. Well, today we're gonna do some crafts. We're gonna make a purse made from fabric tablecloths. They sell them everywhere. You know, I chose to make the purse from fabric tablecloth because I think that it bonds together with using a hot glue gun, because I'm not gonna sew anything on the purse, you know. While if I use the hot glue gun to bond leather or plastic or artificial leather, it doesn't bond together, it doesn't glue as well. It just it peels off. I don't know if you have that problem with, you know, using the hot glue gun, gluing together plastic or leather or artificial leather, but I do. Maybe my hot glue gun, my glue sticks for my hot glue gun is not the good kind, but nevertheless it works fine with the fabric. So I'm going to show you the purse we're going to be making together. Okay, I hope I don't have any problems, you know, because there's always something, you know. So knock on wood, and with my fingers crossed, hopefully this video will come out nice. Okay, I'm not going to talk too much in this video. Okay, so this is the purse we're going to be making, or something similar to it. Not exactly the same, but something similar to it. As you can see, the purse is made from fabric. This fabric is this fabric is from 2 fabric tablecloth that I bought specifically to make this purse. You see, I'm sure you've seen them, you know. See, and where I hooked the chain for the purse handle, I used this plastic ring is a shower curtain ring. Shower curtain ring where you hook up the plastic rings. Careful, puppy. Te tú quieres. Okay. So you can see it worked very nicely, you know. I had to make 2 little indentations here to so that part of the plastic went through the hole, as you can see. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna, as you can see, gonna spread it. You see, this here, I didn't sew anything. I just bonded together with my hot glue gun, and it bonded together nicely. As you can see the sides. See, the sides is shaped like a triangle. That's how I wanted it, and that's how we're gonna be making this one that we're gonna do today. see, because it gives it a nice shape. Okay, so I don't wanna be taking too long. Let me open it. As you can see, I made a little fast in here. Okay. 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 I don't have things in there. I'm sorry, I had a lot of junk in there. Okay, I put that aside. Okay, now, okay. And it's pretty roomy. You see, your whole hand fit in there. You know, you could put your cell phone. You could put your little mirror. You could put a couple of things here. You could your wallet, you know, your little chain purse, you know, and whatnot. You know, and then to close it, you just do this. See? See? Okay. My purse. Okay. Okay, so this is what we're going to be making. So let's get on with it. Okay, so these are the materials we'll be making. We'll be using two table mats. Did I say cloth before? If I did, I meant to say 2 table mats. Two fabric table mats. Like so. Okay? You could get any color. But if you want to use the glue from the hot glue gun, you want to use your hot glue gun to bind them together, I recommend you use fabric. Table mats. Okay, see, very sturdy, you know. Okay, so you need two in order to make one. You'll use for the purse itself, for the base, which is this one, like so. Okay, you don't have to do much. Okay, and then the other one you will use for the flap. Okay, like so. Like this is just an example. Okay, like so, like not like this. Okay, something that matches. Or if you prefer, you want your purse to be just one color, then you buy both table mats, fabric table mats, the same color. I like to use different colors, you know. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be doing now. Before anything, we're gonna do this. One of the tablecloth, the table mat that you're gonna be using for the flap, right? Or to close your purse, you're gonna have to cut, okay? Because it's gonna, if you use it like this, it's too big, okay? Now, so remember, see, it has to be like this one. See, it's a little smaller than than the table mat itself. See? See? So you have to cut it a little smaller on the sides. Well, not cut, okay? What you're gonna do is this. Now this one is the purse flap I'm gonna be using. See how pretty it looks? I chose this material. I chose this table mat with the flowers, okay? Because I think it looks beautiful, you know. But as you can see, it's smaller than the actual table mat. This here, this table mat was the same size as this here. So what I did was this. I took my scissors or a blade, you know, and I removed, you see this? I cut the stitch. I loosened the stitch that it's sewn on the sides here, okay, as you can see, okay. And when I did that, okay, let's do this. This is how it was. This is how it was when I first bought it, okay. Now what I did was I removed, see, I loosened the stitch on each of the sides, but before that before I did that, I cut part of I cut the bottom, what's going to be the bottom of your purse flap, okay, like so. See, I cut all this part here, see, it's I didn't cut the middle, but it's longer than the middle, as you can see, okay. Now after I did that, like I said, I removed the stitch, as you can see, up to here, you see, okay, not all of it, just up to here, you see. This I left this, I did not touch the stitch here, okay, on the upper edge, no. So what I did was that after I removed the stitch on each side of the table mat. Papi, tú puedes pasar cuando tú quieras, ¿ok? Que tú puedes pasar cuando tú quieras buscar tus cosas. Okay? So what I did was as you can see, I opened it, right? So anyway, what I did was I tucked each of the sides in to the size I want my flap to be, okay, like so. See that? So after I tucked it in, I kind of took anything, you know, and I kind of went over it so that it could have a crease, so that you can crease each of the sides so that it won't come off, okay, so that it stays, you know, so that the part that you tucked in stays intact, okay. Because what you're going to do is you're going to be using your hot glue gun to bond each of the sides together again, rather than sewing it in your sewing machine, you're going to bond it together with the, you're going to glue it together with your hot glue gun. So, remember what I told you. You tuck in the sides to the size you want. Okay? So this, I tucked in enough so that it fits on top of the purse, as you can see. And I left a pretty good amount of the size of the purse itself, right? Because remember, we're gonna make 2 indentations here to put the hook through those 2 little holes we're gonna be making later on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this. I already explained to you what you needed to do with the flap for the purse. So what I'm gonna do is just glue each of the sides together with my hot glue gun, and then I'll be back. I'm gonna pause the camera. Okay, so I already did one side, as you can see. Very quick. See? How nice and neat it looks. So I'm gonna do the other side, but I'm gonna have you watch me, okay? So as you can see, my hot glue gun. Can you see? Okay, now be careful you don't burn yourself. There's nothing worse than when you burn yourself with the hot glue gun. Okay. Try to make sure both sides are together, okay? Okay. See? After you do this, you don't have to do anything else for now. After this, we'll concentrate on the purse itself, on the base. Because we have to do something. I've done other videos making purses using fabric tablecloth, table mat. But I've done clutches. That's how you call them. They're flat, but they've come out very pretty, but they're kind of flat. Now this one we'll be making today, like I showed you, has some shape to it. See, as you can see. See the size? Okay. You see? Okay. So this is, we already made the flap for the purse, okay? Okay, so we'll just put it aside until we need it later. Okay, now we're going to concentrate on the base of the purse. In order for the purse to have this shape, this triangular shape on the side and the bottom like this, okay, we have to cut. See that? We have to cut the sides of the fabric table mat, okay? Not the way we cut the table mat when we made the flat. No, this is a little different. Now make sure, see, each of the mats come with a little ticket. You know, the ticket, you know, the ticket is kind of long, so you just cut it, okay? And make sure when you glue, when it's time to glue your purse in shape, make sure the ticket that's left, right, is inside the purse and not outside, okay? Because, you know, you will have to, if you made the mistake of turning it inside out, then you're gonna have to remove that little ticket. And if you just leave the ticket inside, then you don't have to remove anything, because no one's gonna see that ticket. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be doing. You see those little those two little lines that I made with magic marker? Ooh. Well, we need to make those little lines on both sides of the fabric table mat, you know, on the long side of the mat. See, this is the long side of the mat, see? Okay. Now, not on this side, no, but on this side like that. Okay, you see? So I make two little marks there, you see? And on the other side, like that. Just the same on each of the sides, okay? You have to make sure it's the same, it's on the same side, okay, as you make your first one. Okay, now, okay, they already started. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the camera so that I could pick up the phone. Okay, so this is what you're gonna be doing, okay? Before you make those little lines with the magic marker, you have to do this because you want to make sure that those little two lines that you make, you draw them right where they belong, okay? Okay, now what you're gonna do first is fold your table mat in the middle, so see, it's in the middle, right? All right, you have one of these little things, little clips, and you put one here so that they don't move out of place, okay? Fine. After that, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put your table mat on the table, okay? On any surface, on any table you're working on, right? And then you're gonna kind of lightly press down, okay? So that the bottom becomes kind of, so that you flatten the bottom. So that you flatten the bottom a little bit, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the sides and you're gonna put pressure a little bit, like, you know, lightly put pressure on the side, right? Like so. You see that? See what I'm doing? Until See? But you have to make sure when you put pressure, right, and you kind of push it down, push the sides, see, down like that. You have to make sure that this line here is right in the middle of this here, see? See this? The edge of this, the sides of the edge, right, have to be right in the middle of this here, okay? And when you do that, when you know just like this, it has to be like this, you see? See that? Okay? What you're gonna do is very delicately, as best as you're able to. If I can find the magic marker. Okay, let me see if I have another one. No, not this one. It has to be black. Okay, now what you're gonna do is this. Oh, you're gonna put pressure, right, to make sure you make a crease on each of the sides, on this side and on this side. Okay, a crease. Okay. When you do that, you're going to take up, and you're going to do that on both sides, okay? You're going to do the same thing here too. Okay? So you're going to put the sides right together, right? And then you're gonna put that, like I said, place the table mat against the table, right, lightly, and then while you're at it, put pressure on the side, okay, on the side, to close them together, okay? To close the sides together temporarily, okay? And as you do that, you put pressure at the bottom here, see? At the bottom. Until, see, it's flat like that. And you have to make sure that the side, right here, it's right in the middle of the bottom here. See, this part here is going to be the bottom of your purse, see? Okay, so that's why it has to be both the same, okay? You have to do this, see? It has to be like that. See that? You have to do it like that. See? Because this is the bottom of your purse. And after you do that, this is what you're going to do. Like I said, you're going to put, you're going to put pressure so that you could have a crease. Okay? You can have a crease on the bottom too. Okay? See that? Okay. See that? See that? That's how it's supposed to look. Come on. Now, after you creased it enough that it stays in place, right? The bottom especially. This is what you're going to do. You're going to remove your little clips that you had, if you had any. Okay? And then you're going to, see? See that? See that? This over here. See? This is the bottom. This is the inside of the bottom of your purse. So what you're going to do is make a little mark. Those two little marks you're going to make right along the crease. okay, like that. And remember, you have to make them right in the inside of your purse. Don't make the mistake of drawing the little lines right on the right side of your purse, the part that's gonna go outside. Okay, now then what you're gonna do is cut about an inch above the line. Okay, you're gonna cut the line, those two lines, but about an inch. Okay, an inch long. Okay, now let me do one. See that? About an inch. Okay. You probably have to cut a little bit more, but to be on the safe side, just cut an inch above the line. Okay, see that? See that? How I cut it? See, I cut that, those two little lines, just the line. Okay, an inch above. You see, just an inch long. Okay, that's it. Don't cut more than that. Okay. Okay. Now what? I'm gonna pause the camera and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, now the reason why I told you to cut just an inch, cut the line just an inch long, right? Is because you probably have to cut more, but I don't want you to cut more than what you're supposed to. Now, see, now this is how we're gonna fold the sides of the purse so that it could have a triangular shape. Okay, so you see the part that you cut. Okay, so we're going to be doing one side first. Okay, like I said, just put the top, okay, just close the top of the purse together. Okay, like so. Okay, and if you have a little pin or whatever, just put it so that it won't open. Okay, so that it won't fly. Okay, okay, now this is what you're gonna do. See that part that we cut? You're gonna hold it inwards like that. Okay, and then the sides, see that, the sides, you're gonna fold the sides like so, like that. See? Now, you see what I'm talking about? Now, we're gonna have to continue cutting, okay? The slits we cut longer than 1 inch. Why? Because we're gonna have to bend it more towards the inside so that the sides can overlap each other in order to make the triangular shape, like so. You see? Right. That will make the triangular shape. like so, you see? Because when we fold the sides, we have to make sure it overlaps. You know, we have to make sure the fabric overlaps so that we could glue it together. Okay, this is the reason why we have to cut it in a way so that it overlaps. Okay, and the way we did it here, just by cutting 1 inch, it's not gonna overlap, as you can see. It may overlap in the at the top, but it's not gonna overlap at the bottom, as you can see. So you have to make the slits a little longer. So let's see. So be very, very careful. Not too long. Just a little bit. Okay. Alright. So let's see. Can you do that? See, I like to put the little pins because I don't want them to move out of place. See now. Then I cut a little bit more. I made the slits longer so that those little flaps on the bottom, so that little flap here is longer than it was before. And see how it's, by doing so, by cutting it longer, you see how it's beginning to overlap. Still, you still need to make it longer, okay, because it's not completely, okay, let me see. No, it has to be a little bit more. Let me see. A little bit more, not too much. A little bit more, I believe. Just a little bit more. Okay, let's see. And when you have the precise measurement of the slit you cut, then I'll show you how to do it in a way that you don't have to measure here and you just could cut it. Okay, so anyway, see? Let's see. Okay, now you see, I did it. Okay, let's see. Okay, you see? You see how it looks? Now you see how, oh, you see, this is the bottom, right? Right? Now you see how it overlaps the sides? That's what we wanted. See? Just only a couple of just enough so that it could, so that you could glue it together, you know. See how it looks? Okay, now that's just perfect. Okay, that's how we want it. So this is what you're gonna do. To cut the other side, the same side, you know, you can just measure, you know, measure the flap with a ruler, you know, or whatever you have at hand, okay? Or you could just hold it this way. But it's better if you measure, because see, you're gonna, if you fold it in the middle and do it the way we're gonna do it, then you're gonna be you know, then the table mat is gonna have a lot of creases, and you don't want that. So let's just do this. Okay, let's say anything you have a hand, a paper, whatever, and you just measure. See that? Just measure. Up to here. Okay. So you're gonna cut it this way. See that? That's how long from here to here is the slit that we had cut. Okay? Okay. Just do that, you see that? Okay. See that? Right. See that? You see how it's, see? You have to cut a little more, like half an inch instead of a complete inch. So it is, so you have to cut like an inch and a half. But anyway, you know, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. Or if you find a better way, you know, to do this, do it your way, okay? I'm just giving you an idea. That's all. Okay, so let's do this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Remember that the ticket has to go on the inside. Okay, don't make the mistake I did before. This one, see, the ticket is it's in the outside, you see, but I left it like that. Okay, see now. See how nice it looks? Right. Let's do this. What's going on now? Okay. It's okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna glue the sides of the purse together. Okay? Just glue inside of the stitch. You see? This is the sides of your purse. So just glue, put glue on the side of the, on the inside of the stitch, and overlap it over the top of the stitch. Don't overlap more, okay, like that. No, just have to be a little bit and that's it. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. I'm just gonna do one side. Okay. Try not to burn yourself. See that? It's just nice and neat and straight. Put pressure. See, this is the side. See, and this is the bottom of the purse. So let's do this. Do this. Put pressure on like that. Okay. So it has to be nice and neat. Okay? Because we're gonna put, you see, don't worry about this staying open like that, because we're gonna put glue here too. This is the bottom and this is the side. Okay? Alright. Okay. I like to make a mess, because sometimes when you make a mess with this glue, it looks terrible. You see? Okay. Sorry. Okay. Because I'm just, the other side, I'm gonna pause the camera and I'm gonna do it, okay? Because I don't wanna waste too much space on my video. Okay, so now the bottom, this is the bottom, this is the side that we just glue, okay? And this is the bottom. So what we're gonna do is put some glue here, okay? And like what you have to do is put some glue inside. See that? See the flap? That little flap that you tucked in? See that? Let me see if you could see. See that? The flap that you tucked in? Okay? The flap that you cut, the little flap that you cut that to make the bottom of your purse. You have to glue that in place there. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. Okay? Now try to do it. Okay. Mm. Okay, just do like that. Okay. If you have little strings coming from cutting your, from cutting the how do you call them? The table mat. Just cut them. That's it. No big deal. Okay, so now this is one of the sides. See? See? Look at it looks. You see how it takes the shape of a triangle? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do the other side on my own. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, hi, I'm back. Well, we finished. No, estoy aquí hablando con en la cámara. That's not bad. Okay, so you see, this is how it came out. Sí, está buenísimo. Look how nice. Isn't that pretty? See the bottom? This you could fix. You could maybe put something, a ribbon, glue a ribbon around, here, just to cover this part here. Or you can leave it just like that, Maybe you could, I don't know, maybe you could put some, go over it with a red magic marker. In this case, red magic marker because the purse is red. But whatever color you make, well, whatever colors your purse is, and if you don't like the bottom part being white like that, you could color it with whatever color your purse is, okay? Or just put a ribbon around here, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it as is. I don't have time to decorate it more, Yeah. Okay. So, as you can see, very nice. Okay. Okay, now, and this is the inside, see? You see the little ticket? It's inside. See? It's very nice and neat, right? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna glue the purse flap, okay? So as you can see, this is what I'm talking about. See these little strings? That happens when you cut some fabrics, Not all fabrics do that when you cut them, but some do. You have to deal with it. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna insert part of okay, we're gonna insert the bottom of the flap. Okay, this is the top of the flap, right? This is the part that when you fold it like that, this is the part that shows, okay? Now this part here, the bottom part, is gonna go inside your purse, like so. Okay? Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take, before you glue your flap in place, what we're going to do is this. Where is the little ring? Oh. All right. Okay. See that these two little shower ring hooks to put up your shower curtains. I chose this plastic transparent one because this one goes with anything. But you could get any color, you know, to match your purse. So what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna make 2 indentations here, okay? So that we could put so that you could put the plastic shower rings. Okay? So I'm gonna be back because I'm gonna get a nice pick to make the puncture. I'll be back. Hi, I'm back. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm gonna make the little indentations with. Okay, so now, see, I'm gonna I inserted the flap inside my purse. Why? Because when we're ready to glue the flap on the purse, what we're gonna do is glue it, put glue here and just glue it like so, okay? And that's how we're gonna glue it. And we're gonna glue the inside too, okay? Okay, so, but before we do that, you have to before you put the flap in place, you have to make the 2 little indentations, okay? Before you glue the flap in place. So this is, I'm gonna make my indentations here, one here, see, one here, and one here, on the other side here, see? The reason why I have to put the flap inside the purse without gluing it in place is because I have to make sure where I'm going to put the 2 indentations, the 2 little holes, see? Because you cannot put the 2 little holes like the hole's gonna go inside, inside of the flap, because then when you see that the ring, right, the shower ring, have to have space. I mean, you, in other words, you have to put the ring, and you have to make sure it's, I don't know if you can see, you have to make sure when you put it, it's a little